Hello fellow duelists, this is Shadow of the Moon, and this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while now, presumably because with Nibiru being more of a main staple in a lot of the decks, including the Fire King decks now, Snake Eye decks that have been running around, which is the top deck right now, a lot of Blackwing players may find themselves kind of disoriented or confused about how to play around Nibiru, considering that this deck is a combo deck that special summons a lot of monsters very quickly, and before you know it, you already have summoned all five special summons or normal summon, and it ends up getting Nibiru, and then you're left with pretty much nothing, and you're like, well, how do I get around it? And so for this video, I'm going to be showing you two different instances that if you play pure Blackwing Synchro build, ways for you to still be able to play around Nibiru and still have an optimal board, at least a sub-optimal board, to be able to survive a turn with interruptions. So right here, as you can see, I've got the main card right here, the Nibiru himself. So presumably Nibiru is a card that if you opponent normal special summons at least 5 or more monsters during the turn, before the end phase of the main turn, or before the end of the main phase, if they've special summoned 5 or more monsters, you can tribute all your opponent's monsters, and the token becomes the combined attack of all the ones that were sent to the graveyard, and then you get the token as well on your side of the field, which is the Nibiru monster. So there are certain ways to play around it, but all you need in this combo is Simoon and Sudri, or Sudri, Black Whirlwind, and then another Blackwing, or Simoon and a throwaway, which is the most common and easiest to pull off. Simoon using any other Blackwing can kind of go into the Nibiru proof board, or at least one that even if they summon Nibiru, you can still play around it and still end on actually a pretty good field. So synchro monsters that you're going to need would be your Blackwing Assault Dragon, Blackwing Dragon, Nothum, Boreas Storm, and then if you have Twin Shadow, you can have Blackwing Farmer Master, because believe it or not, Twin Shadow in this particular instance is probably one of your best cards next to Zephyros and Hamart in the Dust. So cards like Baron, since Baron was originally a way for you to go under the 5 summon limit to negate Nibiru if they were to play it, but now since Baron is banned, you are left with other alternatives. So alternatives would be Bestial Dissipator, which if they discard or banish a monster during your turn, and then you have Dissipator under the 5 limit, and then they try to activate Nibiru, you can shuffle Nibiru back into the deck and destroy it. If not, most that it will do is it will wipe your field, but it will destroy Nibiru, and it will prevent them from getting the token, which can still be somewhat helpful, because yeah, it did get rid of your entire field, but at least they don't get the token on their side, or at least they don't get the monster on their side. Draco Berserker is another way. It does the same exact thing, where if they activate Nibiru, you aren't going to be able to negate its effect, but you can at least play around it by banishing the monster in their hand. Even though your field will get completely wiped, you'll at least make sure that they don't get Nibiru on the field. And then you have cards like Gin Buster and Appaloosa, which if you summon under the 5 summon limit, you can just negate outright Nibiru's effect. Gin Buster is perfect for this because you do run a lot of level 2s in the Blackwing deck, no matter what version you're playing. If you're playing Bestials, Kali Yuga, Calamity, or just the pure Synchro build. You do run multiple level 2s, so there is a way to be able for you to actually play around it using Gin. And then Appaloosa, obviously having the 5 summon limit, being able to make a monster with 24 or 3200 attack, you can just negate it because it's once per chain. And then obviously cards like King Calamity and King Kali Yuga, you can still play around it, especially if you're playing the Centaurian version of King Calamity. You can still optimally play around Nibiru, because all you need is at least the core cards like Stand Up Centaurian, and then you just need the Centaurian monsters to be able to go into King Calamity. And then obviously Kali Yuga, with how Kali Yuga is built, it's so easy to go into Kali Yuga even with being Nibiru, that you can still end on the Arsenal Falcon with the Ultimate Falcon on your side of the field with the tower, and then having the rank up and stuff, and being able to play through Nibiru for that until your opponent's turn. And then you have cards like SP Little Knight, which presumably will banish the monster until the end phase of the turn, which they will get it back. but it will banish the monster and it will wipe your field. But you can protect yourself, because if you have a monster that you want to be able to keep, you can banish Little Knight and the monster that you have to kind of protect them until the end phase of the turn, which they will come back, but at least you'll be able to at least have those two monsters to protect you, and then you can activate a kind of an interrupt on your opponent's turn. And then cards like Bestial Rebellion. So Bestial Rebellion is a great way to also play around Nibiru, because with monsters that get sent to the graveyard, all you need is a light or dark monster for any of the Bestial, and you can special summon them from the hand. Also, if you're able to, you can always special summon these guys from the hand, and their effects continue, so it doesn't really slow you down that much, especially if you're playing the Bestial version of Blackwings, so that is something that you definitely don't have to worry about. So yeah, all of these are great options, except for Baron, because obviously Baron or Baroness is banned at the moment, and so is Borreload Savage Dragon, which isn't on the list, but I wanted to have him at least to kind of represent both. But all you need for Nibiru is, like I said, Simoon, a throwaway Blackwing, or Sudri and Black Whirlwind, or Sudri and Vata, and just, all you need is 2 or 3 cards pretty much in your hand to be able to do it. So, alright, so that's going to end this first part of the video. So the next part that will be up is going to be the first part of the combo video. So, I'm going to go ahead and stay tuned, and let's go on to the first part of the video. Alright, and we are back for our second part on how to out Nibiru using your pure Blackwing Synchro deck. So in the first part, I was showing you how to go about it using just the 3 cards, your Simoon, a throwaway Blackwing, and then obviously Nibiru being in your hand. This is going to be a little bit different. This will add a new card. So say instead of Simoon, you open up with Sudri, but you also open up with a Shamal, and then a Black Feather Whirlwind, or you open up with Vata, to where you have a little bit more wiggle room to be able to search for another card. So what we're going to be searching for is Twin Shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to normal summon your Sudri, activate Sudri's effect. This is going to search for Twin Shadow, and this is going to add and kind of continue and extend the combo even farther with this part. So you're going to go ahead and do the same thing you always do. You're going to tribute your Vata along with Zephyros and Hamartin the Dust. So Hamartin and Zephyros the Elite. This is going to special summon your Blackwing Dragon. Alright, so then from there you've got your Vata. You're going to special summon Vata. And then you're going to activate Shamal's effect. Add Hamartin the Dust back to your hand. Alright, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go through the Boreas Storm, the Wicked Wind, and then as you activate that, that is your 5th summon. And then say for instance they already are like, okay, that's the 5th summon, we're not going to wait anymore, we're going to activate Nibiru. So you've got Nibiru right here, they send you the token. So actually, since you already did have Twin Shadow, you added that and you have an extra card, this is actually going to be a different field. So it's going to be somewhat similar, but you're going to bounce this back, you're going to reactivate Black Feather Whirlwind or play it, you're going to play Hamartin the Dust, activate Hamartin's effect, copy Zephyros, okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do the Chaos Angel, you're going to activate Chaos Angel's effect, which will destroy that, and then go ahead and add back Sudri, because Sudri is actually a key part of this combo. So you're going to add back, actually, we're going to add back Sudri. So there you go. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you go ahead and you can set your Twin Shadow. You're going to tribute this for your token. Okay. And then you're going to special summon Blackwing Assault Dragon. And then this is going to actually play Notham the Starlight. There you go. And then you're going to burn your opponent for 800, and then from there you're going to end your turn, and then as soon as they draw, you can play Twin Shadow, and Twin Shadow will send Boreas Storm and send Zephyros the Elite back to the deck, and this will special summon your copy of Blackwing Full Armor Master. So, and then you would get an extra card if you wanted to. So if you would have had like Chinook in the graveyard prior, you could special summon that and have an extra negate. So, we'll just say this is, for now, this is going to be the Chinook. So, I mean, right here is still really good because you do have a tower. You've got a way to prevent your monsters from being destroyed by battle. You've got your burn with protection, and you've got nothing the starlight. So only other way that would have been different is you could have, instead of played a twin, you could have played Twin Shadow immediately to summon another blackwing monster right after they would, or right after you bounced it back, and then from there you could have went into a different play. But I find this is a little bit more optimal. So it just kind of shows you that even with Nibiru, you can still play around it, even when your opponent does have it. So there's no reason to be afraid of this rock. Literally, there isn't. As long as you have your timing just right, and you're aware, and you might feel like your opponent is playing Nibiru, and you have a feeling they are, then you can prepare and be able to kind of counter it in your own way. So I hope this video was somewhat informative, and I hope to help you as much as I could. So like that, thank you very much for watching this little combo tutorial, and if you like, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subs right now, so I would really appreciate it. It would be awesome if I could get to 500. That's what I'm pushing for right now. I have a big unboxing that's going to be opening up a legacy booster box. I'm going to be having a lot of packs. It's going to be a kind of a pretty big opening, so just look out and stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.